Crankbaits. If you're fishing a crankbaits, what is something that you can do as you're winding that bait in that can really help you catch a few more fish? This one's easy, but it's got a little trick to it also. Good morning, guys and girls. January 30. That's right. We're reading out of our Catch a Better Life book. If you're not subscribed to the Catch a Better Life channel with Jimmy Houston, be sure and subscribe to that channel right now. Go in there and subscribe to the Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube channel. We've got 3 channels on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to all 3 of them. Catch a Better Life with Jimmy Houston. Jimmy and Chris Houston's Twin Eagle Ranch, which is the largest channel, about 125,000 people on there. And Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing. That's where all the fishing stuff is. Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing. So if you care anything about fishing, go over there and subscribe to that channel as well. January 30. We're looking at writing the first book of the Bible. This is a great story. If you've been to church at all, you probably know this story. Genesis 22:8. And it says, Abraham said, "My son, my God will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering." It's a very famous story in the Bible. One of the statements we hear a lot from folks that fish with us is, "Don't worry, I've got an ace in the hole. I've got a secret spot, don't worry." That usually happens after a few hours without very much success, sometimes not even a bite. We tell people right off the bat, hey, if you got an ace in the hole, let's go fish that place first. If you got an ace in the hole, let's just don't wait till we need that ace in the hole. Abraham had an ace in the hole in this story as well. His God and his belief in that God. That was his ace in the hole. He had God, and just as important, he had his belief in that God. That was Abraham's ace in the hole. When he was asked by God to sacrifice his son, what did he do? He obeyed. When his son Isaac asked him, Dad, where is the lamb to be sacrificed? You know, they had gone to a specific place to sacrifice. And he took his son with him, and he took some servants with him. And then he left the servants, and he went over and he said, okay, we'll go over and we'll make our sacrifice. And Isaac asked him, Dad, where is the lamb to be sacrificed? And Abraham spoke these famous words in today's verse. My son, my God will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering. Here's a critical point in that situation. Isaac, and by the way, Isaac was his son, but he was about 25 years old when this happened. He wasn't a 5 or 6 year old boy. He was about 25 years old. I'm imagined since he became a great leader and a great outdoorsman, a great warrior, he was probably pretty stout and strong. His dad was old, really, really, really old. Yet Isaac agreed with his dad that his father's God would provide. His father's God would provide. So he allowed Abraham, very, very old father, to tie him up and place him on the wood to be sacrificed. He didn't fight. He didn't resist. If he had, that would have said on the Bible, you know, Abraham had to tie him down, throw him on that wood. He allowed his father to do that. So he believed just as much as his father did in the God that his father believed in. And God did come through with a ram to be sacrificed instead of Isaac. He looked over and there was a ram with his horns caught in the wood. He went over and killed the ram because God provided that ram for him instead of his son Isaac. Whatever you are believing, can I tell you this is so important? Whatever you are believing for, God has the power to provide it. Whatever you're believing for, however unbelievable that might be, God has the power to provide that. Here's our tip for today, talking about crankbaits. Often a sweep and pause with your rod tip will trigger a crankbait strike. You're winding, sweep your rod. Winding, sweep your rod, and then move back toward it. Sweep your rod, move back toward it. Sweep your rod. Often that will trigger a strike. It's actually causing a deflection movement on that bait. Your bait is coming through the water, and you sweep your rod, and then you pause it, and you move back. It's causing a little bit of deflection. Looks like it runs into something. Oftentimes, that creates a strike. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, I sure do love you.